Hello, and welcome to Late to School, a My Hero Academia watchcast. Academia? Academia?
Sure.
I'm not sure which one is right.
Academia?
I know that someone got mad about one of those.
Mm-hmm. Who are you?
I'm Lorena.
And I am here!
Alright.
I'm Zach, also.
Okay.
I'm Zach. Hi.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about the next 2 episodes of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
very excited to talk about these.
I'm glad. Starting with episode 2, What It Takes to Be a Hero. These episodes don't have individual writers or directors that I could find. It seems to just all be the series director and series writer.
Huh.
If that's inaccurate, I'm sorry. I did my best to Google it and try to find any information on that stuff.
Mm-hmm. This isn't like a flip-flapper situation. This is a very popular, well-known anime, so
yeah.
I imagine it shouldn't be too hard to find accurate information.
But the episode first aired in Japan April 10th, 2016, and again, unsure where, Toonami maybe, May 12th, 2018 in English.
Okay.
And the episode starts with a thing we're going to be seeing a lot in this show, which is sort of a
little recap?
A little recap / condensed series of scenes from the previous episode. Yeah. There isn't a narration over it. It isn't Midoriya being and last time on My Hero Academia.
Yeah. There is some. It's framed as an internal narration.
Yeah.
In this episode, at least.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any new dialogue, though.
No. We see the scene of Izuku being really excited to be a hero and then getting crushed by Mr. Walrus Doctor.
He doesn't resemble a walrus that much to me.
But, I mean, Dr. Eggman is here.
Dr. Eggman.
And then the scene on the roof at the end of the last episode where he tries to ask All Might if he can be a hero.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I think from there it just cuts immediately to the opening.
No, there is a little bit of it's kind of a cold open.
Okay.
It gives us that recap, and then I think.
Oh right, yeah.
What happens is
there's a little bit where All Might is
he's responding to
he's responding
Izuku's question,
and he's be a hero without a quirk, and then.
He just collapses. Which Izuku does not see. He just continues sort of monologuing about why he wants to be a hero like All Might, and to have he wants to I want people to see my fearless smile and feel safe.
Yeah.
Like All Might, you talked about, and I really like that line. And he's just sort of reiterating the question as as All Might is sort of just crouched and writhing in pain, and says what I could swear sounds like, "Not now, Dad, not here."
I think he's saying "damn," but
maybe it could just be "da."
Yeah,
it could just because he is in pain.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of steam just rising around him. And as the steam clears and Izuku finally just actually looks at him, he has gone into skinny mode. He is now a lanky, weird, frowny boy. And then he's just what the fuck? And then we get the opening sequence.
Right. And after the opening...
Well, first of all, I had a comment about the opening I wanted to mention.
Okay.
There's a bit where All Might is fighting a Birdman.
Yes.
There's a buff Birdman that All Might is fighting that has a visible brain. And I swear to fucking God, if that character's not called Bird Brain, I'm gonna riot.
I'm not gonna spoil that for you, I guess. I'll let you find that out on your own. But after the opening, I think we see an alleyway.
Yes.
That Bakugo and his 2 stooges are walking down.
Well, actually, first of all, we see the bottle.
Oh, right, yes.
We see the bottle with the sludge monster.
We see the soda bottle with the nasty slime man.
Mm-hmm.
And
he is sort of internally talking about what happened to him when All Might Texas smashed him.
Mm-hmm. And he's very frustrated and angry. Mm-hmm. And then Bakugo and his... I don't want to say friends, because I don't think Bakugo has those. His associates.
His colleagues.
They walk down the alleyway, and the two of them are like, do you think it was a little harsh what you said to Midoriya? And which,
as we will remind the audience, was telling him to kill himself.
Yeah, And Bakugo is just not having any of it, and he is very angry. Mm-hmm. And he without seeing it, kicks the bottle with the nasty slime man in it, and it pops open. And they continue their discussion basically.
And also, I did note down that one of Bakugo's stooges mentions, "Weren't you and Midoriya good friends when you were kids?"
Yeah,
and we have not seen evidence of that yet to this point, because when we last saw them as kids, it was Izuku standing up to Bakugo, bullying another kid.
Yeah, we have seen that they knew each other when they were kids, and we know that Izuku calls him Kachan, which is that sort of nickname is reserved for people who are your close friends.
Okay.
But yeah. Basically though, then the nasty slime man has
reformed.
Has broken out of his cage.
And he's doing just fine.
And he looms behind Bakugo, and his stooges just sort of stare in horror and then run away. And leave Bakugo behind as the slime man descends on him.
And he says, "I like a skin suit with some fire." We also see that Bakugo did show off his quirk a second ago by blowing up a can.
Right.
A soda can. Meanwhile, back on the roof.
Yeah.
Izuku is confused. He's pretty certain this can't be All Might.
Yeah.
This is an imposter.
We get, our first good look at All Might's skinny form, and he is, just completely emaciated.
Yes.
He
looks inhuman. He doesn't look like the other human characters.
No. His clothes really don't fit him.
No.
His hair is all droopy and
he's still got the antennae, but they droop down now.
His face looks like fucking Papyrus from Undertale.
If Papyrus never smiled.
Yeah. His teeth are constantly visible though.
Yes.
In this form still.
Again, still. Yeah. Which is fantastic.
And yeah, Izuku is not convinced that this could possibly be All Might because he's a giant of a man.
I think All Might then starts trying to say something and blood just spurts out of his mouth.
Yeah.
But he does eventually explain. He kind of collapses on the side of the roof and explains that this is his true form.
Yeah. Also, another thing that's important to note is that his vocal performance changes.
Yes.
He gets a lot less boisterous and booming, and he sounds a lot more tired.
It's a really subtle effect. It feels like, but it's it works really well because it's still clearly the same voice actor.
Right.
It's really good. It's good voice acting. And he does explain that he was injured in a fight, and he lifts his shirt and shows off the injury,
and it's real bad.
It's real bad.
I don't know how he's alive.
Probably the superpowers.
Yeah,
in
probably.
part. And he explains that he basically can't. That's why he's been sort of not showing up in the news as much lately. Because he can now only go into hero mode, for 3 hours at a time at most.
Yeah.
Before he starts fucking falling apart. He also mentions that he had surgery. for the wound, and he lost his entire stomach.
Yep.
Which I don't... Does he eat?
I assume he has a replacement stomach.
Probably.
I don't know if stomach transplants are a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it should be an easier one to transplant, right?
Yeah, right?
Than like a heart.
We can replace lungs and hearts and livers and all that shit.
You don't even... I mean, you do need a stomach to live. You don't always need a stomach to live.
No, just until your body is like, hey, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, you can, like, it feels like there's a better time frame than with the heart and such.
Also, notably, Izuku, when All Might mentions that he got really hurt, Izuku is like, oh, was it in the fight against... Fuck, what was the guy's name?
Something like Chainsaw Hands, or...
Yeah, Toxic Chainsaw.
Toxic Chainsaw.
And All Might's like, good guess, but no.
He guessed that because of the time frame that All Might gave him. And All Might says he tried to keep this fight covered up.
Yeah. Because
he didn't want people to know that the symbol of peace was really fucked up. Got real fucked up. And All Might uses this opportunity to sort of try to answer Izuku's question by explaining that pro heroes have to be constantly willing to risk their lives.
Yeah.
And it's basically too dangerous for someone without a quirk.
Yeah.
So he is adamant that if someone doesn't have a quirk, then they can't be a hero.
Yeah.
Which does... I do like how they tie that in together, like, with his whole situation. Like, it's really neat how, like, he thinks that because he has, like, a very cool quirk and got real fucked up.
Yeah, and when
it did not save him.
And when he can't use his quirk, he can't do anything. And, of course, this basically crushes Izuku, and he is not feeling great. And All Might, like, gets up to leave, and as he's leaving, he's like, but don't worry, there are lots of good professions, like being a cop, and he's wrong.
He's wrong? You can't save people as a cop.
And he opens the door to the stairwell, which I thought was locked.
Hey, yeah. What's this fucking continuity error?
I don't know.
I expect better of this from Toho.
I genuinely don't know if that line was there in the Japanese or if it was like an ad lib.
Okay.
Either way, like it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
it's
matter.
Fine.
Yeah.
And he leaves Izuku alone on the roof.
As Izuku is just sort of standing and staring forward and is traumatized at having his greatest hero tell him he can't be a hero.
And All Might goes to, like, he pats his pockets and is like, all right, let's get you to the station. And then he realizes, shit. The slime man. Not there.
And he realizes he must have been so distracted with trying to maintain his powers that he misplaced him in the flight. And we also see explosions.
Yep.
Off the roof. Meanwhile, Izuku sees some explosions happening off the side of the roof across town, and then we cut over there. The slime man, the nasty slime boy, is causing what one might call a real ruckus. There's lots of fires in this like alley marketplace that the kids were walking through.
I don't want to blame Bakugo for the fires, but the fires are probably from him.
Fires are probably from Bakugo, yes. Slime Man is trying to enter Bakugo's body.
Yeah.
And also simultaneously using him as a hostage when heroes start showing up.
Yeah.
In fact, it's all the heroes that we saw from the first fight in the last episode.
Yeah.
We see Death Arms. It's just a great name.
It really is.
And He tries to fucking punch the slime man,
yeah.
but he's made of slime.
He punches the slime man and says my favorite line, which is, "Huh? Some kind of goo?"
that Death Arms has the same energy as fucking Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid breaking into a highly secure security base and seeing a security camera and reacting with a security camera. Like you're a spy.
You could see the slime man. You knew he was some kind of goo. But yeah, basically, like a lot of the pro heroes are here trying to stop the slime man, and all of them are ineffective. Mm-hmm. Death Arms cannot punch him.
Kamui Woods is not having the fire. He's pulling. He is rescuing.
Yes, there's some civilians around.
And
Kamui is away. Rescuing them.
What's his fucking name? Backdraft is too busy putting out the fires to actually fight the slime man, and then there's like a bird man we see who we didn't see in the previous scene. Yeah, but there's no explanation for why he can't help or what his powers are. Because we see that guy later. I remember him now. Yeah. Weird.
But yes, then there is the best one.
Yeah, Mount Lady is coming. The bystanders watching are very excited that she's coming to help, except she is thwarted by her one weakness, which is one-lane roads. She can't fit through.
She needs at least a 2-lane road. She does literally say, "Oh no, my one weakness." Which is fucking great. Also, notably, all the people getting excited about Mount Lady this time are girls.
Yes. And All Might is here. That was not supposed to be a pun.
No. There's like a crowd outside the alleyway, which seems much wider now. I don't know if the slime man moved or
maybe, unclear. And All Might is sort of near the back of the crowd and is sort of watching this helplessly.
Yeah.
As the heroes are literally saying, we just have to wait until a hero with a quirk that will actually work against this guy shows up.
Yeah.
And All Might can't do shit.
Nope.
Because he's in fucking baby mode.
There's also, like, some of the bystanders are talking, like, "Hey, this sucks. When's All Might gonna get here? I saw him earlier.
Fighting this same guy."
And there's a guy with, like, very sharp teeth.
Yeah,
who's just like, "All Might, where's he going? Where's he at? Come on, All Might." And All Might overhears this and is like, "Shit."
Also, Bakugo is putting up a fight, but it's not much of a fight.
Yeah.
He's just kind of maintaining not being suffocated. And again, they do explicitly say his quirk is just causing the fires.
Yeah. Which again, I don't want to blame him for, because if I had an explosion quirk and I was having a panic attack about a slime man trying to envelop me, I would probably blow a lot of shit up too.
That's valid. And also here is Izuku.
Yeah. We see him walking down the street.
Very slowly and sadly. And just kind of looking at his notebook. And also, there's a great bit where he turns to the page that has All Might's signature on it, and then he just immediately closes it.
Yes. Also notable, we see a sign at some point of what this area is.
Yeah.
And it's like Tatooine Municipal Park.
Wait a minute.
I
just remembered another place that has a name.
I tried to look this up. I don't believe Tatooine is a real place in Japan.
Okay.
I believe that this is a Star Wars reference.
Okay,
for some reason.
There's another one later.
Yes. Yeah.
Should I talk about that now?
No.
I mean, it's not a huge spoiler.
I guess.
What? Yeah.
We'll get to it. It's fine.
It.
But more importantly, Izuku.
Also, I did also notice another sign, though.
Yeah?
I did see a sign like a glass window that had the text Mineta on it.
That does mean something.
Okay.
That's a real word, I think.
Okay, because I know that's the name of a character later in the show.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, everyone's favorite.
But yeah, Izuku is here, and he notices the explosions and is like, how did I get here? I must have wandered here unconsciously.
He's like, wait, that fight from earlier is still going on?
Mm-hmm.
And he sees Slime Man enveloping a boy. He can't see that it's Bakugo yet.
Right.
But he is very upset because he, like All Might, thinks that this is his fault.
Right.
Because he assumes that he knocked the bottle out of All Might's pocket when he clung onto him while he was flying away.
And he also thinks that, like, because he wasted All Might's time.
Yes, and now he can't transform.
Right.
And there's a really good bit that where we just sort of cycle between All Might and Izuku's internal monologue of them just disparaging themselves for this. And then Izuku actually realizes that it is Bakugo who is being captured by Slime Man. And he freaks out.
Yeah.
And starts running through the crowd.
Yeah, there's a, like, very good shot. Like, Bakugo's face is, like, in the middle of the Slime Man's face. And there's a shot where, like, we can see his eyes, and the lower half of his face is covered by the lower half of the Slime Man's mouth, and it's very good and horrifying.
Yes. And they, like, both scream at the same time, basically. And Izuku runs forward.
Just runs forward.
He runs through the crowd, despite the hero's warnings. And All Might watches this, and is very surprised. And there's a really good moment where Izuku's internal monologue is like, why the fuck am I running? What am I doing? This is a terrible idea. But he is charging towards the Slime Man, and he remembers the fucking Kamui Woods move of the lacquer prison or whatever it was.
Lacquer chain prison.
And he gets an idea and pulls his backpack off and throws his backpack to distract the Slime Man.
Yep. And he uses that distraction to close in and just starts, like, fucking clawing at the Slime Man's body, trying to free Bakugo. And he, like, manages to, I think, like, free Bakugo's face so he can breathe again.
Yeah. And Bakugo is like, what the fuck are you doing? And Izuku answers that question by saying that Bakugo's eyes were pleading for help, and he couldn't just let him die.
Through tears, of course.
Through tears,
It's very good.
It's very good. But Slime Man recovers, and is about to just fucking smash Izuku. But then, All Might is here. Specifically, Big All Might.
Yeah.
Strong All Might, who blocks the blow, and he sort of greets Izuku through a stream of blood coming from his mouth as he is forcing himself to transform. And he admits to Izuku that he had scolded him for something he hadn't done himself, which is risk his life in order to save other people.
Yeah.
And All Might was inspired by Izuku's bravery. And then he uses a special move to take out Slime Man, which is Detroit Smash!
Yep. Detroit Smash.
It's just all... Wait, but that's not...
Huh?
That's different, actually.
Is it?
Because last one was Texas Smash. That's a state.
Well, Detroit is... it may as well be a state.
I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure it's a city.
Are you sure?
I think it's a city.
It could be a state, though.
You know what the problem with that is?
Detroit becomes state.
It could be a state, because I don't know shit about...
It's not. It's in Michigan. Michigan? No. Yes?
Detroit, Michigan?
I don't fucking know about states, man.
He uses Detroit Become Smash, and just tears the fucking slime villain apart with one punch. So hard that it creates, like, a fucking cyclone in the air.
Yes.
That pulls the clouds in the sky above around and into, like, a fucking spiral that creates a rainstorm.
Mm-hmm. And everyone around is like, oh shit, he changed the fucking weather.
Yeah.
And everyone cheers for him, and we see, like, a bit of him, like, stumbling backwards, but maintaining his poise. Mm-hmm. And he, like, quietly lifts a fist in victory.
Yeah, and everybody cheers.
I think is a shot from Rocky? I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
It's very good, though.
It's extremely good. And then afterwards, we see All Might being interviewed by reporters. And we also see Izuku being chewed out by the other pro-heroes for doing something so reckless. Mm-hmm.
And Bakugo being commended.
Yes, for lasting as long as he did. So, this fucking institutionalized quirk racism is bugged the shit out of me.
That's fair.
Like, Bakugo didn't do shit except survive.
Yeah.
Which is cool, I guess. But Izuku tried to save him.
Yeah. Like, I think chastising Izuku is maybe fair. He's 14.
He's 14, and he doesn't have superpowers.
Yeah.
But he helped. He did help. He did help. His fucking backpack lacquer prison did more than most of the other heroes could do.
Yeah.
And specifically there is, like, the Birdman again. Mm-hmm. The Birdman talks to Bakugo and is like, hey, good job at not dying. You're pretty cool. If you want to be a pro hero, you should come through my agency.
I'd love to have you as my sidekick.
While you're training, and Bakugo is not paying attention.
No. He's just fuming.
Mm-hmm. And then later that day, we see Izuku walking home, and he is confronted by Bakugo.
Yes.
Who yells at him that he doesn't need his help to be saved. He did.
He did.
And that Izuku shouldn't look down on him. He didn't.
He didn't.
And then he just kind of runs awkwardly away. And Izuku is like, what the fuck was that about? And Izuku, like, turns back to continue walking home and just sort of internally monologuing still about how he's just kind of glad that nothing went wrong. And he's like, guess I better go back to giving up on my dream. And then, I am here! Which freaks Izuku the fuck out.
I don't think I can hear anymore.
Sorry.
It's fine. Yeah.
I wanted to replicate.
That's fair. All Might just fucking slides out of an alley.
He does a fucking Captain Falcon dash attack out of this alley and freaks the fuck out of Izuku. He is in strong mode, for the record.
And Izuku is like, how'd you get away from those reporters? And All Might just kind of brushes him off.
Yes.
As a fucking American flag waves behind him.
And he's like mid-speech, and then just collapses with blood coming out of his mouth, and goes back into skinny mode. But he explains why he is here. Which is that Izuku was the one who made the difference in that situation with the Slime Man. Because even though he doesn't have a quirk, he still did the same thing that all the other greatest heroes in history have done, which is he just ran forward without thinking about it to help. And he says that he inspired him to actually, like, force himself to help. Again, like, risking his life. Yeah. Because, like, he was clearly torturing himself to be in that form for that long. And
as he's talking, like, Izuku starts, like, crying
Yes.
and collapsing onto the ground. And we get, like, his internal monologue as he is like, in that moment, for some reason, I remembered my mom's words. And we flash back to her being like, I'm so sorry. And then All Might
tells him what he did need to hear, which is that he can become a hero. And Izuku just breaks down bawling in a very, like, and I start crying a little bit, honestly.
Yeah.
Which is very impressive, because, like, usually it takes more than 2 episodes for a show to get me to tear up. But boy, it's just the most relatable. Like, he's not, he's happy, he's not sad.
Right.
He's just so overcome with so many emotions that he just has to fucking cry.
Yeah.
And then the episode ends.
Yeah. And the next episode, is episode 3, Roaring Muscles. Which first aired April 17th, 2016, in Japan, and May 19th, 2018 in English. And once again, we get, like, a recap, basically.
Yeah, kind of. But we also get Izuku. I forget when the opening starts in this one, but we get Izuku talking about All Might.
Right. Oh, also, important thing at the end of the last episode we forgot to mention.
Yeah?
As it ends, like, is Izuku's monologue. As the episode ends, Izuku's monologue is like, oh yeah, I forgot to say, this is the story of how I became the world's greatest hero.
Yes, that is that episode,
Which is fun. It's cute.
It's cute. But yeah, Izuku, at the start of this next episode, is giving us a profile on All Might, the world's most famous hero. Age unknown, quirk unidentified, crest, mystery crest. And is basically talking about how he became, just the biggest man.
Yeah.
Metaphorically, not. I mean, he seems to be literally also the biggest man, but
yeah, probably.
He's a symbol of peace. We see a statue of him, and then we do cut back, and Izuku recaps that he has been told by his idol, a symbol of peace, that he can be a hero, and is still crying tears of joy. And All Might says to Izuku, I deem you worthy of my power. My quirk is yours to inherit.
And Izuku is just like, what?
And then we get the opening.
Yes, yeah,
and then once the opening's done, All Might explains that his quirk is unique in that he can give it to other people. He sort of explains his quirk in a little more detail, explaining that he just brushes off interview questions when people ask him about what the nature of his quirk is. And
he also finally gives the name of his quirk.
Yes.
Which is One for All.
And explains that it has been passed down from successor to successor, and that's how he acquired it. He was not born with his quirk. He was given it by another. And he has been looking for a worthy successor, probably because he can barely do superhero stuff anymore. And he thinks that Izuku is worthy. And Izuku also starts muttering to himself, basically. He's like, he literally says, hold on, this is a lot to process. And starts sort of like trying to figure out, hey, that's not how any other quirk works. That's impossible. How could that happen? And he just starts doing a long muttering ramble to himself.
Yeah.
And All Might is like, stop nerding out! And just sort of reiterates his proposition, and Izuku is very excited to accept. And then we see training.
Yes.
We see the beginning of training.
Uh-huh.
We see All Might on a fridge as Izuku has a rope, like, wrapped around the fridge and is trying to pull the fridge.
We also see they're on a beach, and we see the sign for the beach. And it's the Dagobah.
Yeah, Dagobah Municipal Beach.
Which, yeah.
Is another...
This is where Izuku goes to do his training. At Dagobah.
Yeah. And his sort of origin story starts in Tatooine. That's interesting.
Yeah. Again, also look this up. Does not seem to be a real place, so is almost definitely a Star Wars reference.
Yeah. And also this beach is covered in trash.
Yes.
And Izuku and All Might sort of banter back and forth in a really, like, cute, fun way. That, like, with, like, Izuku pointing out that the fridge weighs way more with, like 600 pounds more with All Might on top of it. And All Might's like, no, I lost some weight. It's only, like, 500 pounds. And also, my favorite part of that scene is Izuku laughs at that, which is very...
Yeah.
They're building a rapport.
Yeah.
And Izuku is like, hey, what the fuck are we doing? Why are we doing this? And All Might explains that Izuku is mentally worthy, but he's not yet physically worthy of inheriting One for All, because... it's an extremely powerful ability, and if he was given it in his sort of feeble, tiny boy form, at this moment, his arms and legs would just rip off his own body, as he would just explode. So All Might has to train Izuku in a very limited span of time. I forget...
10 months, I think is what he says.
Yeah. Which is because the UA Academy?
UA Academy,
okay.
Yes. Entrance exams.
Yes, are in 10 months.
Yes.
So he needs to get his quirk. He needs to obtain One for All before that happens if he wants to pass the exam. And so basically, All Might is just like, we gotta get you fucking ripped to contain my strength before you can go to superhero school. Which is a great plot point in for a show to have. And
so, to do that, you're gonna clean this whole beach.
Yep.
This beach used to be really clean and nice.
Yep.
But then people just started throwing their trash.
And trash started washing up. And now it's completely covered in fucking trash. And you gotta clean it. Clean it all.
I love that fridge, though. Is that All Might's? Did he bring it, or did that somehow wash up on this beach?
Or did someone bring it to... It would take so many people.
Yeah.
It's a big fridge.
It's a big fridge.
It would have to be a big fridge to fit All Might on it.
Yes.
For one thing. Also, I did note down in this scene, Izuku has an All-M shirt.
Yes, he sure does.
And...
Get ready for lots of,
superhero merch?
No, well, yes, that too, but also lots of Izuku shirts that just have English on them.
Okay.
But, like, incomplete English.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? I wonder if that's an officially licensed.
I wonder. It looks very generic.
Yeah. I assume that is, like, in this setting, that's gotta be a big part of where pro heroes get their money.
Yeah.
Like, is licensing merchandise.
Probably.
Because, like, we talked about interviews and stuff, but, like, licensing merchandise is probably a big part of that.
Yeah. And we know there are All Might action figures.
Yeah, and posters and everything. But All Might tells Izuku not to worry about him passing, because he has devised a plan. He has devised the aim to pass American Dream plan. Which is a complex schedule taking into account every aspect of Izuku's life.
Yep.
In order to ensure that he can pass the exam and eventually contain the power of One for All. within the span of 10 months. Mm-hmm. And Izuku sees this plan. It's multiple pages.
Yes.
He hands it to Izuku, and he's like, even my sleep is scheduled here.
Uh-huh.
And All Might is like, it's gonna be really hard. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be really hard to do this. Sure. And Izuku is like, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. I was about to say he's like, hell yeah, but he's not like, hell yeah. No. He's like, yeah.
I gotta be a hero.
Gotta be a hero. Which I do like a lot, actually. Like, he's not super gung-ho about it. He's just, like, he's resigned to do the work. Mm-hmm. And then we get a cute little training montage of him moving trash and eating.
Yes.
A lot of him, like, eating well, I guess. Mm-hmm. And in a certain time frame. We see him muttering to himself in class as he's trying to figure out his schedule, which big mood as someone who has been to college. Just like spend most of a class not paying attention to the class, just trying to figure out how you're going to do the other classes. And we see him slowly become stronger. Yeah, he starts lifting more stuff. There's a point near the very end of the montage where he is carrying a big moated All Might on his back, just fucking piggyback style.
Yeah,
which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Considering he's 500 pounds. And Izuku is the size of a grape.
No, the grape boy is later, actually.
The grape boy is later,
Izuku is the size of a cabbage.
Are you making a joke about his hair?
I was trying to think of something green.
Broccoli?
He is, yeah. Broccoli's probably closer. Boy. Yeah.
And we then, like, at the very end of the montage, we get a scene where Izuku is running alongside All Might, who is not in hero mode. He is in skinny mode, riding a Segway. In a trench coat, of course, as you need to wear when you are a superhero in your civilian
well, also
guise.
It's like winter.
It's also winter, yeah, that's fair. And Izuku collapses while running, and All Might is concerned, and points out that, hey, the schedule was like, I specifically made the schedule to like fit your meager tiny body and to make sure you pass, but without overworking you, which means you're not sticking to it.
Which at first you're like, oh, is Izuku slacking off? No, he's doing even more than he needs to.
Yes, he is overworking himself.
And All Might chastises him for this and is like, hey, listen, I know you want to be a hero real bad, but you gotta listen to me when I tell you not to work too much. You're going to die.
Also, big mood. Also, I like that apparently among All Might's powers is the intelligence he needs to figure out exactly the stamina of this boy he met like five days ago.
I think that might just be him. I don't know if that's a power.
He's just intuitive?
Yeah.
Okay. And Izuku says he has to work as hard as he can because he wants to excel and be as good as All Might. And All Might is kind of impressed by that, but is also like, okay, but still don't die. Still, like, I get it. Don't die. You are going to kill yourself. And then, after the 10 months are up, we see All Might. I think he drives to the beach.
Yeah.
We see him parking. He's got a big jacket on again. And he is going to the beach to check on Izuku's training.
Real quick. I love... Trench coats are big naturally, but I love that this trench coat is even bigger than that.
Yes.
Because all of All Might's clothes have to be extremely large so that they don't rip when he turns into Muscle Man.
Yes. All of his clothes are skin tight in his hero mode and way too baggy in his regular mode.
Yeah.
Which is a very fun, like, balance.
Yeah.
And he sees Izuku on the beach, and more importantly, he hears Izuku on the beach.
Yes.
Because he is standing shirtless atop a mountain of trash and screaming at the dawning sun. And he has cleaned the entire beach.
Yep.
Even more than All Might told him to clean. To which All Might reacts with a holy stinkin' super crap and transforms halfway through that.
Yes.
It's very funny.
It's very funny.
And All Might is proud of Izuku, and we see a closer look at Izuku, and he is buff now.
He's buff now.
He's got kind of he's got a swimmer's body.
Yeah.
He's still his small self.
I do hate to see him because his face is like a baby.
Yeah.
But his body is like a strong man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
very eerie to see.
Yeah.
But All Might is certain that he is now powerful enough to contain the might of the All Might of One for All. And Izuku is very excited, and All Might plucks a hair off his head and hands it to Izuku and says, "Eat this!" And Izuku is like, huh? And All Might explains, to pass on One for All, he needs to consume All Might's DNA. And Izuku is not excited about doing this, about eating one of All Might's hairs. But All Might forces him because the entrance exam is in a few hours.
Yes.
So he needs to inherit his power as quickly as possible. And then we cut later. Izuku is going to the UA high school.
Yeah.
At the building. He's ready.
Is it the high school?
I think so.
This? Okay.
It's a UA building. It has UA on the
Often entrance exams are like at separate places, but I think this might be the UA building.
Okay. I mean, we see a facility attached to it later.
Right, sure, yeah.
And I assume that facility is used for regular school stuff. I say regular, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Superhero school stuff.
There's also regular school stuff.
Yeah. It would be weird if I do love the aesthetic of weird high schools in fiction that have some special thing they teach, but don't fall into the Harry Potter problem.
Yeah.
Of like, when are these kids going to learn fucking algebra? But yeah, he's at the building. He's walking up. Bakugo is behind him also. Bakugo is here and just yells at him to get out of his way, or he'll set him on fire. And Izuku panics and gets out of his way and tries to calm him down, and Bakugo just walks right past him. And Izuku sort of internally monologues about this by saying that for the past while, Bakugo has actually started kind of going easy on Izuku. And I love that threatening to set him on fire when you know he literally has that ability at any given moment is going easy on him.
Yeah,
God, Bakugo's an asshole.
He really is.
But yeah, Izuku is excited. He ate the hair off screen.
The hair.
He hasn't tried out his new powers yet or anything.
No.
And he trips also going up to the school. But he is saved.
He is saved.
By a rose, no. By a girl who grabs him with... Does she grab him with her hand, or...
She touches him on his back, which causes him to float slightly.
Okay.
Which prevents him from tripping.
Right. I've seen this girl before also. Yeah. I think she's in the opening.
Yeah.
So she has like some kind of weird telekinesis thing. And she is like, "Hey, are you okay?" And he's like,
He doesn't say anything in response.
She is like, "I saved you with my quirk." And talks about being excited for the entrance exams and stuff. And then is like, "Okay, see you later." and then heads inside.
We don't get this girl's name yet, but she is in the opening, so it's pretty clear that she's an important character.
Right. Yes, of course.
She is voiced by, in English, Lucy Christian.
Okay,
who
that sounds familiar.
Voices Coconut in Flip Flappers.
Oh!
She also voices Nami in One Piece.
Okay.
Who is the girl one, I think. And
that's the orange hair girl, I think.
Yeah. And Toko Nanami in Bloom Into You.
Okay.
Are two notable. And a very important one is Ahiru / Princess Tutu in Princess Tutu.
Okay. The eponymous Princess Tutu.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her Japanese voice actress is Ayane Sakura. Who is one of the many sabers in the Fate franchise.
Okay.
She's also Minerva in Fire Emblem, various Fire Emblem medias.
Rad.
And Eleonora Yoshimuzu in Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp FE.
Oh, okay. Cool. So she's in multiple Fire Emblems.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We always gotta have the Fire Emblems. But yeah, she wishes him good luck and heads inside. And
once she's gone,
he just internally monologues. I'm just going to quote this verbatim, so that nobody thinks I'm just saying this. Holy whoa! I just talked to a girl. And then some text appears on screen saying, "Didn't actually talk."
Yes, which is a manga gag that they just put straight into the anime.
Okay. It's good though.
It is good.
Like that's peak comedy there. And then we inside we meet the school DJ.
The school DJ.
Which
Present Mike.
I don't know of many schools that have that, but I never went to public school, so maybe that's a thing.
Present Mike is a man with a fucking banana of hair.
A banana of hair, yes, I think that's accurate.
A bad 2-part mustache.
Yes.
He's wearing big sunglasses.
Yes, he's got a weird collar.
And he's
I think
grinning.
He's got fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
He looks like a DJ in a superhero anime.
Yeah.
Would look.
Yeah. His voice actor.
Is he important enough to get one?
Yes.
Okay.
Present Mike's English voice actor is Sonny Strait.
What a name!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Who is Krillin?
I'm more of a cloudy bi, but you know.
Krillin and Bardock in various Dragon Ball media. He is Usopp in One Piece.
Okay.
You might have seen him. He's got really curly hair and he has a horrible big Pinocchio nose, and I hate to look at him.
Oh yeah. We got another One Piece. Huh?
Yeah, he is also Arsène Lupin III.
Oh.
In various Lupin III medias, not all of them, obviously, because he often has different voice actors. But notably to me, he is Lupin in the series The Woman Called Fujiko Mine, which is one of my favorite Lupin things.
Okay. Is he Lupin in Castle of Cagliostro by any chance?
Not that I saw, but I didn't look super close.
Okay. Do you know if he's Lupin in the upcoming 3D movie?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
We should cut all of this probably because we just don't know.
This is fine.
Okay.
His Japanese voice actor.
We'll encourage our audience to Google it for us.
His Japanese voice actor is Hiroyuki Yoshino, who has a lot of roles, not many I recognize. He's Mark Twain in Bungo Stray Dogs.
What the
Bungo Stray Dogs? I'm not sure how to pronounce it, actually.
Bungo Stray Dogs, and why does it have Mark Twain in it?
I'm not quite sure myself. He is also Brief in Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a character called that.
Yeah.
How Dragon Ball of them. Isn't there's a Dragon Ball character called Briefs, right? Did I make that up?
There's a character called Bulma, which is like Bloomers. And then Bra. And like all of her family members are.
Yeah, I thought Briefs was like one of them.
Briefs might be one of them. I mean, there are a billion Dragon Ball characters. There's gotta be a Brief somewhere.
Statistically speaking. Anyway. School DJ is explaining. I'm only going to call him that for the record. I don't care what. You're
not going to call him Present Mike?
I mean, I guess Present Mike is a pretty good name also, but Present Mike is explaining how the entrance exam works. And it's you go. He's trying to get the crowd hyped, and they're all students who are just not having it.
Who are here to take an exam.
Yes. I do love that even for an entrance exam for a superhero school, the kids cannot get excited for an exam.
No.
That's pretty realistic.
Even in an entrance exam for a superhero school, students cannot be excited for anything in an auditorium.
Nothing exciting has ever happened in an auditorium.
No.
Except...
Not even that guy who tried to show us yo-yo tricks.
Maybe especially that guy who tried to show us yo-yo tricks.
No, you didn't go to public school. Did he come? Did a man try to show you yo-yo tricks at college?
No,
You're familiar with it?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the
the shared cultural trauma.
Yeah, the shared cultural trauma of that. It feels that's consistent with what I've learned about public school from John Mulaney's jokes about assembly.
Okay. Anyway,
President Mike is explaining how the exam's gonna work, which is it's a mock battle.
Yeah.
Love a mock battle.
The Battle of the Eagle and Lion.
The Battle of the Eagle and Lion. I don't know enough character names from this show to replace Eagle and Lion with anything funny.
Yeah.
So there's these facilities that are like simulated cities. And there's several different facilities. And there's going to be pseudo-villains, fake villains, that they have to fight. And they get a certain number of points for each villain.
Yeah, and the villains are all, like, robots.
Yeah, we see their silhouettes, and they're clearly giant robots. They look very, there's, like, a video game interface that shows President Mike going through a little pixelated environment.
And, like, to make sure we don't fail to notice this, one of the students in the audience is like, man, it's just like a video game. Which is never a good sign when you're trying to get young people on board with your violent activities using video game analogies. Although I don't know any video game this is comparable to. No. President Mike shows a, like, video of him, a sprite-based him, just sort of walking through a side-scrolling presentation of the city and beating up the robots and getting different amounts of points for the different types of robots.
And he explains that you're not supposed to fight the other students. You just fight the villains, and whoever, I mean, I guess it is whoever gets the most wins. I don't know how you win an exam, but
it's
maybe it's just
whoever gets enough points to pass.
Yeah, okay.
Passes.
And then Izuku is like sitting right next to Bakugo for some reason. I don't know why either of them would do that.
Because I think it's because they have they're from the same middle school.
Oh, okay.
So they're like serial number or whatever are close.
And they point out that like they're assigned different mock battle facilities.
Yes.
Because they didn't want people to fight alongside their friends, I guess. And they're like sort of muttering to each other. And then the worst character so far is here.
You don't know him yet.
Okay. He
is pretty bad in this scene.
Yeah, I know. Listen, again, been to college. I've met people like this. and I can't stand them. Mm-hmm. He stands up and asks a question.
A big boy with glasses.
He looks like a middle-aged man.
Yeah.
He stands up and asks a question of President Mike, and points out that on the little pamphlets that they got, there's 4 silhouetted faux villains, and he only talked about 3. And he goes on a small rant about how if this is a mistake, this is unacceptable from the best superhero school in Japan. And then also turns around and is like, also you, and points at Izuku, and is like, stop muttering. You're distracting all of us.
His voice.
I'm so mad he's important enough to get this.
He's in the opening. Is
he? I didn't notice him. Okay.
His English voice is J. Michael Tatum, who has a lot of roles. Again, not a lot I recognize.
Okay.
He's Erwin Smith in Attack on Titan, who I think is a character I've heard of.
Okay.
He's Scar in Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay. That's someone I've heard of.
Now I don't know if this character is important, but he appears in multiple Black Butler medias.
Okay.
As Sebastian Michaelis or Michaelis.
This is a good name.
I'm not sure if that is anyone cares about. I know people like Black Butler for some reason. His Japanese voice actor is Kaito Ishikawa, who is Gunvolt in the Azure Striker Gunvolt games.
Okay.
Sure. Nero in the Devil May Cry series.
Oh, okay.
And Dmitry Alexander Blythed in Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Hey! He's 2 different violent school-based assholes. And President Mike says, "Thank you for calling in with your request." And it explains.
President Mike would definitely plop a chair down backwards and sit down with his arms or his legs over the back of the chair.
He slides the textbook into a trash can nearby.
Let's rap a little, kids.
He does not demand anyone call him by his last name.
No, he demands everyone call him President Mike or his first name.
Mike. I can only assume it's Mike.
President Michael.
When he's not there, when he's not in the room, he demands everyone call him Absent Mike.
I'm sorry, I was drinking. I would have laughed really loud if I wasn't, though. I'm sorry.
But yeah, he explains that the fourth faux villain doesn't get you any points for being defeated. It's just there to be an obstacle. And we get all this set up for this mock battle that isn't going to happen in this episode.
No, it's not. Again, the pacing of this show is maybe kind of weird.
Yeah. We sort of end the episode on Izuku going to, he's walking along with the rest of the kids to his assigned facility, which is, again, just like a big simulated city, basically. And they're at the gates, and he is sort of steeling himself to use out these new powers he doesn't know about. And then the episode kind of ends.
Yeah, It kind of ends.
It kind of just peters out with there, but it's a decent cliffhanger, I guess.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just kind of weirdly paced, like you said.
Yeah.
Then next time on, I forget we get some dialogue in the next time on between Izuku and this new girl.
Yes, yeah.
She does mention her name.
Right, she says Ochako is her given name.
Okay. And we do see that they have been assigned the same facility as well as Glasses Boy. And I forget what they fucking talk about because I didn't write it down. So I guess let's talk about these episodes.
Yeah, sure. So you said you had a lot to say about these.
Well, I was at least, I don't know if I said I had a lot to say about them, but I was excited to talk about them for sure.
Right,
because
sure.
I really like, again, like the ending of that second episode. The first episode we talk about in this episode of the show.
Episode 2.
Episode 2 what it takes to be a hero.
Yes.
Of Boku no Hero Academia.
How dare you call it? How dare you call it that?
The ending of that episode is incredibly good.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And also, the story is going in a weird direction now. I've noticed, which is like I didn't know shit about this inheriting powers stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm really wondering how they're going to handle that. If it's going to be like it doesn't work on Izuku, or it isn't manifesting yet, or like what's going to be the case there, or if they are just going to give him superpowers in the 4th episode. I don't know how they're going to handle that, and that's intriguing to me.
Yeah.
Particularly because I'm very invested in, like, superhero in a world of superheroes who doesn't have any powers.
Yeah.
When 80% of the population has powers.
Right.
Like, that's interesting to me, and I don't want them to get rid of it. At least not immediately. But
yeah.
I
mean, this is the story of how Izuku becomes the world's greatest hero.
Yes, but that doesn't mean he gets powers. It doesn't have to mean he gets powers.
Right.
You know who doesn't have any superpowers? Batman. People like him.
People do like Batman, yes. I like Batman.
And he could be a Batman. He shows innovation and innovativeness. That's the same thing.
That's the same thing.
When he throws the backpack.
Yeah.
He like it feels like Izuku's superpower should be he is a fanboy. He knows about superhero shit.
Yeah.
And so he knows he can replicate, like, how to improvise replicating the techniques of other superheroes without actually having a quirk of his own. And I would like to see them engaged with more of that. Like, I hope that was set up in the first in episode 2. And again, just like, I'm really emotionally invested in Izuku, honestly. He is very well written. His crying is so realistic. Like, it's very realistically timed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I also am always a fucking sucker for, like, male characters who cry a lot and aren't necessarily made fun of for it.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes they'll poke fun at Izuku for crying.
Yeah.
But it's mainly like an emotional core. Like, yeah. And also that's true of lots of stuff, like fucking Steven Universe has all sort, like, Steven cries a lot and also makes fun of Steven for crying sometimes.
Yeah. Snakes don't have arms.
Yeah. Izuku would cry over snakes not having any arms.
Okay, good.
So yeah, I'm really interested in it. I really love Izuku and All Might's rapport and, like, they're very similar, like, mental states that we get shown. I love the back and forth between them both blaming themselves completely for what the slime villain is doing and not even considering that the other person could be even partially at fault.
Right.
Because, like, All Might's narration never even mentions Izuku, I don't think, in that moment. He, like, is purely thinking, I fucked up, I can't help. I'm basically damning this boy to die.
Right.
And Izuku is also thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And they're both wrong.
Yeah.
Which I also like. I love that, like, I kind of love that Izuku doesn't just straight up completely save the day.
Right.
Like, he can't actually defeat the slime villain. No. At least not as he is right now.
Because his body is made of some kind of goo.
His body is made of some kind of goo.
Izuku can't get a grip on his weird body, which is another thing Death Arms says. Death Arms does say, I can't get a grip on his weird body.
You know, Mood, if I had a nickel, that's me.
Don't know what that means.
That's me every time a lizard gets into my house and I have to try to pick it up to take it back outside.
Does that happen? I live in the same house as you, and I don't know if I've seen many.
It hasn't happened a lot.
Okay.
Not recently, no. But, you know, I've had a gecko get in my house once or twice.
Okay.
But, like, they do need each other's help in that scene. Like, All Might needs Izuku to remind him that, like, part of the job is risking your life,
mm-hmm.
and Izuku needs All Might to save him from the giant monster.
I also love that All Might is Superman, but what if Superman had depression? And also, what if Superman could only be Superman sometimes?
Yes, I've always loved the idea of Superman being like a shapeshifter, like reinterpreting Superman as like his Clark Kent form just looks completely different from his Superman form.
I'm always slightly begrudging of that stuff because it's like, it feels like people taking the how do people not recognize Clark Kent thing a little fair. Too far.
Listen, but in a modern day, when we have fucking Facebook face recognizers.
Yes. I've also seen that fan art.
But yeah, it's like All Might is very compelling as like, cuz like he's Superman who has depression but still wants to help people.
Yeah.
Like he's not self-absorbed or self-obsessed or anything.
No.
He is depressed and upset at himself.
I also love that, like, he is self-absorbed when he's All Might, but that's an act.
Yes.
That is a character he puts on because...
He's putting on a brave smile to... He literally outright says that, like, the smile is hiding his fear. He is always afraid. Which is really cool. Like, I love that he, like... Izuku learns more about, like, what it actually means to be a hero and like what being All Might is like, and it's not a pedestal breaking moment.
No,
it's like being All Might is fucking hard.
Yeah,
like because no one is just that brave all the time. He's brave in that he is afraid all the time and is on the brink of dying every time he transforms for too long.
Yeah,
and he's still doing it, and he's still putting on that smile.
It would have been very easy to write the scene where All Might tells Izuku that he can't be a hero without a quirk as, like, All Might being elitist.
Yes,
but
and dismissive. It comes from a place of concern.
It comes from a place of concern and, like, self-deprecation.
Yes.
Which makes it so much better.
Because, like, if he, the most powerful superhero in this setting that we know of, like, the most popular superhero and all that, if he can get real fucked up in a fight and be on the brink of dying every time he now has to transform, then he just thinks no one with a quirk is going to be able to handle, or no one without a quirk is going to be able to handle.
Yeah.
He's literally concerned for... Because he says it involves risking your life.
Yeah.
It's extremely good. It's extremely well written. I'm super... I don't want to say I'm super impressed, because that sounds kind of condescending, but I'm impressed, I guess. I wasn't expecting this much out of it, and I'm really enjoying it so far.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see more. And I'm excited that they've introduced one female character with a name.
The show definitely cares a lot more about men than women, and we'll see that going forward. It's an unfortunate black mark on an otherwise very good show.
I will say, Izuku works the best for me as a character if he's a boy, I think.
That's fair.
I think in again, similar to Steven Universe, it would not be a late to school episode if I didn't compare every anime we watch to Steven Universe. My favorite anime. Like, there's just, like, Izuku's crying a lot would feel different if it was a girl character.
Yes, for sure.
Not necessarily bad. Like, I don't think the show breaks down or anything.
Like, we both love a girl. Usagi, and she cries all the time.
Yes, exactly. But it again, it's just, there's a value for that for me, personally, sure. Of, like, because I'm kind of a boy, I think, and I see myself in Izuku when I see him just, like, so overwhelmed with emotion that he just breaks down crying.
It's as much as I am the person who is like, I just don't, I want to always have a female protagonist in everything I ever watch. There's definitely value in having male protagonists who are allowed to be emotional and allowed to show vulnerability.
Yeah.
If we don't have those, if we take away that, then it's not great.
Yeah.
Definitely use less male protagonists who aren't like that.
Yes.
For sure.
Like, it's very anti-toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
That being said, what if Bakugo was a girl and was still just exactly as much of an asshole?
Oh.
And never had any romantic shit with Izuku at all.
I wonder if that would make people ship them less or more.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know enough about this fandom. I don't know enough about this show's fandom to know its general stance vis-a-vis same-sex versus opposite-sex shipping.
You know our friend Nart.
I know, I've heard of, Nart.
And his friend Sasuke. And how they're shipped together a lot.
And Sakura the Beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're shipped together a lot, yeah.
Izuku and Bakugo are Naruto and Sasuke.
Okay.
Essentially.
It feels very... It's a very, listen. I don't want to sound judgy about ships, but it feels very, gay ship for straight people.
That's fair.
Because straight people just see two people who hate each other and are like, sexual tension.
Yeah,
That's what that is, right?
Yeah.
Sexual tension means you want to kill each other, yeah?
I will say that as the series goes on, I do become deeply invested in Izuku and Bakugo's relationship, but not quite in that way.
Not quite in a shippy way?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, I still hate Bakugo.
Okay, good. I'm glad that doesn't change. I'm glad I don't have to develop my emotions about this character.
I think that's all we have to say about this.
It is, but it feels like not a lot happens in these episodes, even when it does. It feels like things... I think individual moments tend to take a longer amount of time.
Yes.
Like, even that montage was, like, a significant portion of that third episode.
This show, in general, spends a lot of time on everything.
Okay.
Again, the pacing is weird. I don't think it's bad.
I'm not necessarily against it. Yeah.
There are single fights in this series that last for 3 episodes.
Okay. That's... we'll see how I feel about that.
We'll see how you feel about it. I think it works, but we'll see.
I've always dreaded that about, like, a Dragon Ball. So we'll see if the fights are compelling for me across 3 episodes. I could see it working, like, written well, you know? And so far the show is really written really well. What if All Might was a girl also? Yeah. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Also, other thing, sorry.
Yeah.
All Might's regular person design is my favorite character design in maybe any anime ever.
That's fair. I love him.
It's so incredible how inhuman he looks.
Yeah.
He looks like a fucking vampire.
Also, we didn't mention, like, in his skinny form, you can see his eyes. Kind of. His eye sockets are still, like, completely black, but we can see his irises and his pupils.
See his little blue eyes.
He does have little blue eyes. He's got blue eyes and blonde hair, but is not American.
He's got the body of Papyrus Undertale and the eyes of Sans Undertale.
Yes, true. Unfortunately. There is a fucking bit when he does the Detroit Smash where we can see, like, one of his eyes glowing.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't notice that. Fuck yeah. We Undertale now.
As always, thanks for listening. Is there anything else?
You sound so...
No. As always, thanks for listening. You can find me at Lorena27 on Twitter.
And you can find me at Frylord Zarek on Twitter.
And you can find the show at late_school. And thank you to Soichi Sakagami for use of the song True.
Go Beyond!
Plus Ultra!
There's these facilities that are like simulated cities. Simulated cities.
What?
Like Monster Factory.
Okay, sure.
We'll maybe cut that one.